Did you know you can sponsor your favorite podcast on the Spin Market Podcast Network? Hi, everybody. I'm Peter Stockdale, host of the Spin Market Report. In quarter one of 2026, our podcasts had over 300,000 views across all platforms, totaling 1,500 hours of watch time. So whether you're promoting a product, a service, or a special event, we can help you reach the audience that matters. Get more information on how to sponsor your favorite podcast on the Spin Market Podcast Network at spinmarket.com. That's Spin Market with 2Ks.com. Spin Market, your business, your message, our platform.
It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
Hey, I'm off camera again, everybody. Welcome to the Spin Market Report. It's Marketing Monday as usual. And this week we're sitting down with Cheryl and Mackenzie.
Yes.
Maybe I should say Mackenzie and Cheryl since that's how you're showing up on camera.
Well, and she's the primary person today.
Yes. We couldn't have done this without Mackenzie. We're going to do a short recap of our small business celebration on Central 2026, which was an event that had a whole bunch of different vendors and all sorts of things. Lots of visitors, lots of people stopping by to see what we had going on. So, Mackenzie, what was the smoothest part of the whole event? Let me ask you that.
Oh, put me on the spot.
Yep. I didn't prep anybody with any questions, so we're just going to see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the smoothest part was every interaction I had with all the vendors. They were easygoing, go right to the spot, or just easygoing, happy to be there. That was probably the smoothest part.
I didn't hear anything negative from anybody, whether they were here or they were visiting or they were a vendor.
Yeah, especially because with having so many vendors, and I'm not the most detail-oriented person, the map kind of got a little finicky, and they were all right on top to just go wherever we could place them.
Yeah, I mean, initially we had 30-ish people, and then had like 8 or 9 like within days of the event. So we had to flip everything around and move some people because some people wanted to be near or further away from other vendors, understandably so.
Yep. Well, I mean, we had a lot of baked goods and then sourdough, and then I think there was one that was even gluten-free, and I didn't even think about not having her buy baked goods. So the day of the event, she was like, I probably shouldn't do that because I'm gluten-free, and was like, I didn't even think about that.
Right. Well, and you bringing up a good point. It's one of those things that, no, we didn't think about it, and they didn't think about it either when they signed up on it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we had to be able to adjust immediately.
Oh,
we
yeah.
did.
Yep. I even think, like you said, like I remember putting someone's like, well, I'm number 35 on the map, and I was like, there's no 35 on here. And then I put them somewhere else because I'm like, I guess there's 2 33s, or whatever. But it actually, like, the way that worked out was even though we had like some duplicate numbers or whatever, everyone still had a space, and there was still space for everyone. So it all worked out really, really well.
Definitely. I think that's something that I'm thinking of in the future, of making the map like they don't need a designated spot. They just really need to be on the list. So it could be almost like I don't want to do a first come, first serve, but also just with our event, with having the certain places, there were some people that couldn't make it, or there was just miscommunication of the placement. So there was gaps in some of those vendor spots, which I felt really bad because I want to make sure everybody gets seen. So that was just one small thing.
And there was only a couple of those because we had so many vendors.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think about even like having the city come help us out. Because I mean, even on the day of the event, they were like, you can set up at this time. Here's what you need to do. And then it was just like, well, what do we do with these intersections? And so we even called the city back out, and they were like, oh, well, I guess you could do it this way. So a lot of times, even in like the organization of this, we deferred to the city on what they would choose, because they've done this before and or at least helped organize, or they know what's going to be best for the city, et cetera. And I mean, nothing's ever going to be 1,000% perfect. It's just the way it works. But yeah, I mean, it worked out really well, honestly, with help from the city. Do you remember the gentleman's name from the city?
Yeah, it was Ryan, who we've worked with for the last couple of years. He's been absolutely on top of the email, phone call. He was even there in person the day of our event to make sure everything was going smoothly. Because as you probably could tell during our week of the event, it was also the weekend for the Downtown Country Jam, which was conveniently a block down from us. So it was
that wasn't planned that way.
No.
Because when we set this up and were ready to do it and put it all together, that was not even in the cards until maybe a month before the event.
Yeah, for like context, the downtown country jam, they were going to do it out at the sports complex, Harlan Rogers Sports Complex, because there's a lot of room out there. You can fit a lot of people out there. I've been to shows out there before. It's awesome. But the problem was the city has construction out there, and it was going to be difficult to kind of get in and out, depending on which way you had to go, et cetera. So they decided to move it downtown,
Right by us.
Which was just basically a block down from our event. As a matter of fact, where they were setting up overlapped, one of the streets overlapped for one block. And I remember when they set all the downtown country jam stuff up, like a day before, I was like, oh no, there's like cement partitions here. They're not going to be able to move them. And then we asked them to move them, and it was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to. But even on the day of the event, we didn't go back and say like, are you sure you can't move these? But we just set up our roadblocks, and they were like, oh, we're going to move these for you, because they knew that we needed the space, and they did. Like and it's one of my favorite things is, even though it was kind of like a hiccup, it all worked out absolutely perfectly.
Oh yeah, they were. Even in the morning of the event, there was a city truck that stopped by our office that was just checking in to make sure that we had all the barricades, and that's where they gave us tips of like how to close the road, and just and it was just great. And we talked about the cement barricades. I emailed one time, and they were just like, oh yeah, like they just dropped them off a day early, apologized, they're just not sure what we can do. And then later that afternoon they were lifted and moved, and the guy drove past with the forklift. I was like, my MVP.
And then Steve, the electrician, made sure that they had had the poles that needed to be set up for electrical for the vendors, and actually made a trip down to make sure they were working correctly.
Yeah,
that was really kind of nice. I mean, what were some of the hiccups that we can learn from for next year? Let me ask you that. I mean, I can think of one, but it's mostly out of our control. So like we had road closed signs set up, and then we realized people were still kind of driving down the block. You can do a U-turn. We made concessions basically for people to kind of like skirt around the corner if they needed to and stuff. But when we called the city back, they said, well, we'll put some cones a block down to deter people from doing this. And it didn't necessarily deter people as much as I thought it would.
Yeah.
To the point where like people during the event were still just like hopping the curb and driving into the event where there's like people and children, and we had to like flag them down and get them to do a U-turn and back out. So that would be like the only real hiccup, I think, even though it all kind of worked out. Yeah. It's, again, we like just deferred to the city where it's like, what's the best option here? Because the only other option was just to close down a whole nother block.
And that's going to be the same problem a block ahead.
Exactly. Yep.
Maybe putting a caution tape across the cones.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's one other thing, but if they want to get through,
and unfortunately, we had like the really nice barricade that did say road closed, and you could probably see it a couple blocks away. And we did have like, I think I remember seeing it that way end cap where the road even began. They give a warning that there's road closed ahead. Yep. I think it's just.
Well, I mean, you don't want to close down too much for just the sake of the businesses.
Yes.
Where it's like we told and everybody knew on the businesses. Luckily, the streets we closed down, there weren't too many businesses on there. There's only a few. But yeah, I mean, like you don't want to close down more blocks than you need to, because then you're ruining foot traffic or parking or things like that down there.
Because they were still open. The businesses were still open. So we wanted to be courteous to them.
Yeah, and if you close it off a block down, then it's like, well, how are they going to get out now that their cars are blocked into the event? So it was like that was the only hiccup. But I would say that like a lot of that was just, I don't want to say like the impatience of some people driving through town.
Yeah, which I get. I mean, when you're expecting to go down there and you have to figure out how to back up, like I get the annoyance, and we apologize, but it was only for a couple hours. So.
Yeah, and I mean, it just happens that way in the city right now. They're fixing a lot of things, because if you don't fix it now, you can't fix it in the wintertime. So they're fixing a lot of roads, and I think people are just maybe frustrated with trying to drive around something that they were trying to get to and try to figure out where they could park, et cetera. But honestly, like 9 out of 10, I think it was really good. Almost every single person that came by, like I said, we either like, oh, you need to turn here, we'll make a concession and we'll let you move through. We moved a lot of signs for people that day. Yeah. I think I ended up walking almost 8 miles just at the event.
Yeah. I didn't quite realize how sunburned I got that day, but it was worth it.
The weather was perfect.
So how about the vendors? What were your favorite vendors? Did you go try anything at any of the vendors? And I'm saying that tongue in cheek because I know Mackenzie had to make multiple trips to her car with all the snacks and stuff.
I did, because I was so happy to have them there, and I absolutely loved to support them, and I loved sweet treats. I think one of my favorite discoveries was, I think it was Gather and Gray's. She had puppy chow, but it was Fruity Pebbles puppy chow. And I love puppy chow, and I love Fruity Pebbles, so
Gonna have to try that.
it was really good. I was
Was that
impressed.
really
Yeah.
good? I just think all the vendors. Basically, what I heard was they did better in the 3 hours than they did at some other events just recently. That they were there 5 or 6 hours.
And I heard a couple, like I just got an email from somebody that it was their first like show in Fort Dodge, and I was like, well, that's so fun to check that off their list for them.
Yeah, it's very neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's events like this are, you want to say like fairly common, but they're really not as common as you think, other than like a farmer's market or like maybe we have one food truck at an event type of deal. There's really not a whole lot of these types of events. So it was fun to bring one downtown in Fort Dodge and, like you said, bring some new people into town or bring some people that you might not have been able to see otherwise. I think, and this is, nothing against the farmer's market, like maybe people can't make it there at certain times, but maybe they could right after work on the day that we had it, so they were able to bring some, like, how many people from the farmer's market came? 7, 8, 9, 10?
I think more than 10.
More than 10.
I think a lot of the ones that on Central Avenue are at the farmer's market typically.
That's cool. So we ended up with a lot of the people from the farmer's market and
Yeah.
gave them some additional exposure. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, we had a great connection with the farmer's market that he helped me get so many vendors that we've had. It was awesome. I don't think I could have done it without that connection, which I have to give a shout out to the Growth Alliance. Lindsay got me connected to them, and then took the conversation from there. And David Bush, I think they were with the Our Family Homestead. So if you're ever at the farmer's market, check them out. They have really good pistachios.
Yes. And I did hear from one gentleman that he was the one that had the crepes.
Oh, yeah, Kyle.
Okay. And he said he got the best compliment he's ever had for his crepes from somebody that had been in France for a while.
Do you know who this somebody is?
I don't.
You want to know? She's right in our office.
It's
Rory.
Oh, it's Rory. Oh, okay.
Sorry to put her on blast and say that Rory's been to France.
Yeah, but she had been to France. And
She loves to talk about it, so put her on blast. She'll love to talk about it.
but it made his day. He said that's the best compliment I've ever had, that my crepes were as good, if not even better than the ones she had in France.
Yeah, and he had like sweet and savory ones. And I remember asking Rory, which one did you get? She's like, I got both.
Gotta get both. Absolutely. Yeah, I wished I would have spent more time with the vendors. I will say, like, unfortunately, like when I was most prone to going to like visit the vendors was like right after they set up and they were ready to sell. By the time I was like 2 hours into the event, I was pretty tired and like fighting off a heat stroke probably. So, so I wasn't super hungry. I made the mistake of showing up. I was like, I need to get money and bring. I brought $100 bill because I was like, well, this will cover everything I would ever need to buy at this.
But you couldn't break it.
You don't want to go up to somebody the very first purchase and be like, give me every drop of your change. You're never making change the rest of the day. So I waited. And then by the time I was ready to buy stuff, some people were either sold out, which had happened to a couple places. I know Chanel had sold out of a couple of
Country
items.
Oven, home bakery. She's got the best sourdough.
Yep. But by the time I was like, all right, these people have enough change now to break 100. And then I was like, I can't, or whatever. I will say I did have like $7 or whatever and just like loose change and stuff. So I did get a lemonade to kind of start the day off. That was pretty awesome.
Lemon Co.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was cute little, like a little pop-up camper they converted into a...
Which I just saw that they sold because they're going to get a new one. And I was just like, that's so cool for them to just keep growing.
That's cool that they sold it because they were asking me at the event whether or not I knew anybody that wanted to buy it.
Oh, wild.
So within a week or two, they sold it. That's pretty awesome. It's kind of cool to know that those people out there have those like big plans like that. They're doing something that they love to do. And, like you wouldn't think you're changing anybody's lives, like, making crepes or lemonade or something like that. But the amount of joy that people get out of this, like, it's so fun to think about.
Yeah, I think about all the, not I don't want to do a shameless plug, but I've been really good about sending thank yous to everybody. And like the big thing that I put is like the joy that you brought to the people. Like I know, like I remember seeing like Sips and More, the people walking away with their drinks had like the biggest smiles on their face, and just, the crochet that we had there. I know that I was like over the moon adding to my crochet collection. So,
well, and the other thing that was commonly talked about was the family, the kids. And that was one of our goals, was it was going to be a family event, and the parents that were there and the young children that were there, and they were just having fun walking around and
they
seeing
got
what was there.
ice cream, got their face painted, pet the kittens there, the dogs.
USG had their little paint things that they have.
Gypsum
molds,
of like different animals and different shapes. The Fort Dodge Fire Department, they love to show off their big old truck.
Oh, they got that new truck.
Yes. Yeah, Truck 25.
And it was the first time it was out in public, because it hadn't got out on a call yet.
Yep.
Oh,
and
really?
they had just put it into service, I think, either the day before or that morning.
Yep. I can't remember his first name, but the guy that was chatting all about it was awesome. Like, I loved to learn. I was just like, tell me more. And he just like had all the photos. It was like he's the driver for the truck, so it's his baby.
Yeah, I did not know that it had not been out yet. That's a great to-do for us.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, so the truck was like basically a modern ladder truck, but it was a boom truck. So like they had ladder trucks, which means you raise a ladder and you can get up to however many feet high the ladder goes, but you have to climb the ladder.
Yep.
And this is a boom truck, so you can just get in the bucket and they'll raise you up there, which makes it a lot easier to get in and out of places and stuff.
Wild that they don't have it. Like, it just blew me away that he said they used to, like, I mean, obviously you still do, but free climb the ladder and then harness, like obviously wearing a harness, but then harness themselves on the top, and then they have to lean for whatever business they're doing. But with the boom.
Yeah, I think it's a boom truck.
They just sit
like
right there.
Truck, maybe.
And they can just help. I was just like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's like a souped up version of those ones that the electricians have when they go to fix the power lines and stuff. It was like a
cherry picker or whatever.
Dude, those,
well, just think of all that equipment that they have to carry on them as well, and then at least this way they don't have to climb the ladder and try to balance. And
yeah, you want to look up something cool. ESPN used to do a competition every year. They would televise it, but it was like the firemen's competition where they would have like different firemen from different places or whatever, and they would have to see like who can climb this ladder the fastest, or who can wearing all of your stuff go up 7 flights of stairs and then dump a bucket of water down, or it's like, wow, this is crazy.
Not survive.
Yeah, that's people out there doing a thankless job for sure.
Yeah,
that truck was really cool. I remember going in there and just being like, what does this do and what does that do and what is it? I felt kind of like a little kid at the time, but can I climb on the side of this and look through the window? Yeah, absolutely, that's what the steps are for. Just grab on tight and whatever.
They were so pumped.
Yeah, it was really kind of cool. It was really kind of neat to see that. I mean, we had just about a little bit of everything. I mean, we had we had people like showing seal coating equipment out there to show like what actually
Danielson.
To show like what actually goes on when you seal coat something, which is funny because I did some of that for a city when I worked for a small city. That was like the summer job I had that summer.
Miserable.
Rough. It's not an easy job. I mean, you can automate it as much as possible, but you still need people out there pushing brooms and stuff. It's not an easy job to do that kind of stuff. So kind of cool to see that they were out there showing off what they do.
They were like the last couple of days when they called and said, hey, can we bring it out? Sure.
Yeah, they're just they were like, I can't think of like a family friendly activity, like, but we could bring out like the equipment. I'm just like, well, I imagine the kids would be like, what does this do?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, what was the other one? Like Sips and More had some fun stuff on their truck. Like you'll want to come back for more.
Yeah.
And More is like I think it's a last name, Moore. So they use that in all their like marketing and branding. It's so fun. I don't know. There's something about me where, you just work at a marketing place, but you're like, that's cheesy, but it's so fun. And
I love it.
That's good
it's
stuff.
It's appropriate for that type of a event too.
Absolutely.
I agree. Their drinks are delicious too.
Yes.
So.
It was super good. I mean, you had the flower wagon there.
Yep. That's with, it's Daisy Jane's with Smitty's. They were great. It's Ellie Badkey was our contact for that, and it was just fun. They had like dried flowers, but just the display was so
very
cute.
Pretty. Very pretty. And on top of that, we had music.
Oh yeah, we had Joe Demarath.
Yes.
Yeah,
and he did a great job.
It was perfect ambiance for it.
Yeah, it was really fun. I think we talked about it earlier, but Guy's just kind of goofy. If you request something, he'll try it.
Yep.
He's got that. Not everybody has this, but I like to just change the lyrics of stuff to whatever's around me, or just like throw somebody's name into a song for no reason. And he had done that with Kingsgate, who are our neighbors, Kingsgate Insurance. And he was singing a song. It was a Creedence Clearwater Revival song. But basically it's about like something, whether, your home burns down, whatever, this, that, and the other. And he was just like, man, sounds like these people need some Kingsgate Insurance. And, they laughed and cheered and stuff. And, it's just neat to know that you're out there and he's, I'm going to play a Tom Petty song, and then I'm going to play a Blink 182 song or something, and a Matchbox 20 song or something. And it's just like, man, there's really no limit to what he's going to do. I remember hearing him play The Fireman. That's like a country song that I kind of like hearing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of neat to know that it just seemed like an odd mishmash of people that like somehow perfectly fit together. If that's
what makes it even more fun and special. And we should also say that Kingsgate Insurance was was a co-sponsor with us on it as well. So we're neighbors and decided to join forces.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will also say, I mean, it's crazy to think about it this way, but like the blessing and the curse, or like the cloud with the silver lining of the trolley center being there. Mm-hmm. There wasn't, I mean, it's closed now. We all know that, but like that was kind of an odd benefit where like that block of Central, there's a few shops that just aren't open anymore, or like trolley center's closed. There's one across the street that's closed too. But we didn't really have to worry about blocking off too many people's foot traffic. Mm-hmm. So that was also kind of, like I said, like a blessing in disguise. It was one of those things where you're like, I don't know if we want to go down the street and put everybody in front of the trolley center, but it worked out really well because there's not normally 80,000 people trying to clamor to get into the trolley center.
No.
And then, I just think that was kind of, at first I was like, oh no, this is going to be weird. And then I was like, actually this worked out. Mm-hmm. It was perfect.
I agree.
Same thing with the people from the Downtown Country Jam. They worked with us really well because obviously they had stuff to set up too. They had barricades.
I was going to say, they have much bigger things to set up than our little tents for people. So.
That stage was huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive. Did anybody go to the Downtown Country Jam?
Nope.
I drove by.
I didn't make it.
That was it.
I didn't make it, unfortunately. They didn't invite me to play, so I didn't. No, I'm kidding, everybody. I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, right.
Here, next year, he'll be there.
Yeah. But, that's one of those events that it's super packed. It was kind of cool to be able to help steer some people around. And then some of the vendors and or their kids and stuff would just stand over at the end of Central down there and just watch them setting up the stage, which is something that's kind of a fun thing in and of itself.
I agree. Yeah, I would just lightly see the big side pieces that we're putting up. I'm just like, wow, they really do go up high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, or the stacks of speakers they would suspend in the air and things like that. It's just kind of cool. I mean, that's just not something everybody gets to see. Kind of like the seal coating. It's just not something everybody gets to see. So let's see. Is there anything that we haven't discussed here? This is so far is a pretty short episode, but the recaps are always kind of short.
Yeah.
Well, and it's important that we recap and just have a conversation about it. And if there's something that needed to be addressed that for the next time, then, we keep that closer to our information on what our checkoff sheet for next time. But yeah, we started out first two times we ever did this, we only had a block. This time we had 2 blocks.
Mm-hmm. Around the corner even, yes. Which is kind of cool. So if there was something that we missed, and if you're listening to this, what would you like to see next year? Was there a vendor that we should bring in, or were there types of vendors that we should change, or
is there some kind of entertainment that you would suggest? It doesn't have to be just somebody music.
Yeah. It
could be something else too.
Yeah. I mean, I bring out a fire breather. We got the firemen there, somebody that juggles flaming clubs or something.
Oh, wouldn't that be a hoot?
I mean, the firemen are right there. It would be easy peasy.
And they seem very friendly people, so they
they do a great job.
Be up for anything.
Yeah, this was also a rarity. There was no fire call. We've had the firemen at 3 events now, and most of the events they're in and out, always going. I want to say that they had that we were in between shifts or something. So they did have a second group that could go out, but they didn't have to go out on a call, which was rare.
I think, the truck wasn't on call, or it's the first day. It was, I can't remember what terms he used, but he said the ambulance was third shift or something like that. So if there was 2 calls at the same time, then they would have to go. but that must just not have happened or something like that.
That's wild. I want to say I do remember hearing trucks going out that day, so that does make sense that they had two on the shift at the same time, or it was a crossover between the two shifts. So hats off to them for working as hard as they do and coordinating that with us. And
yeah,
it was just kind of cool.
Everybody was just great to work with.
Yeah, I was going to say everybody was a delight, and I really want to thank all our vendors that took the time to participate. It meant a great deal to us.
Absolutely. So I do want to give another shout out. We, in our booth, did not have anything to give out. So Ethan from Dungeons and Dodgers actually wanted to partake, but he had something that he had to do. Yep. So he wasn't going to be able to be at the event. So what he did was he brought some comic books from National Comic Book Day that he was going to give out that he had left over, and he gave them to us to give out to the children that wanted to have some comics. Absolutely hilarious watching the kids go through there, and it's like, you want this one? And it's like, it's got Spider-Man on it. And they're like, yeah. And it's, well, how about this one? It's got Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. And it's like, well, this one's got Alien and Predator. It looks a little scary. You want that one? No. It's like, all right. Well, we'll stick to the kids' ones. And,
see, I liked the Aqua Manatee.
Yeah, it's Aquaman, but he was a manatee. I
think it's so nonsense that I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. That stuff was super, super fun. But yeah, I kind of wished I would have been able to try a few more things. I'll plan ahead a little bit better next time and not just bring $100 bill and walk up. It takes every that's a cool only thing I kept thinking. Like, these people prepared for this. They brought enough change for everybody. They don't want to take $100 bill for their first sale, But
also, you were a big help to me that day with getting everybody set up. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I mean, that's just one of those things. I was going to do a podcast, and then by the time we got everybody set, had all the roadblocks set up, and everything was going swimmingly, we were like an hour in.
Yep.
And then
there was a ton more vendors. 40 didn't seem like that much, and then they all start pulling in. Yeah. You're like, oh, we have a lot of people. Yeah,
and I thought to myself, I want to interview everyone like I did with all the other events, basically anyone that wanted to. But the other events, we had like 20 people or 20 vendors. So like you give everyone 2 minutes, 20 minutes, or 20 people, that's 40 minutes total. But if you have 40 people, you give everyone 2 minutes. Now we're talking an hour and a half long podcast. And I was like, I could split it in two, but historically, when you take an episode and split it in two, it does not always do as good on the second half as it does the first half. So I didn't want to leave everyone out and do all that stuff. But I think this is a nice way to remedy not doing a live podcast there, which, I really wanted to do. But again, when it's 90 degrees out and you've been outside for 3 hours already, it's just like, I don't know if I'm even presentable enough to go on YouTube.
Well, and we tell everybody that if you wanted to know who the vendors were that are there was plenty of pictures on our social media so that you can actually see who they are.
Yep, yeah, that was my biggest, that was the other thing. I've been notorious for our last events not getting enough pictures or any pictures. So as soon as everybody got set up, I went and got a picture of each one so I could post about it. So yeah, you have to go check that out.
Yeah. So before we close, that's basically what we want to go to the social media, check out the event pictures, go to the event, look at some of the vendors we had. You did a good job tagging everybody in there. So all their Facebook pages, if they have them, are going to be there. There were some vendors that don't use social media, which blows my mind, but
have to go to the farmer's market and find them.
Bingo, bango, baby. So yeah, that was tons of fun. So if there's anything you guys want to see next year, if we end up doing another event, let's see, just comment down below with what you want to see. If you did come to the event, what was your favorite vendor? Comment down below and let us know. Check out some of the pictures and stuff from that as well. Is there anything else we want to cover before we scoot out of here for the day?
I think that was a nice little overview of the event, and I want to say one more thank you to everybody that was involved. It made it flow really well. And of course, Mackenzie was the ultimate hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
98% of the work you did.
Yes.
99%. I was there just pointing at stuff and moving things on the day of mostly. So
well, it's
and
also
raising your eyebrow at my map with all the double numbers.
Yeah. Well, it's also all the work she did ahead of time and writing out the thank yous afterwards.
Yep.
The least I can do.
Literal multiple months worth of planning, and I'm not even kidding, multiple days worth of writing thank yous.
I think I just finished today, so I'm good. Well, I just want to make sure I get everybody, just not our vendors, but also the city people and just people in the office. Gotta thank
people
everybody.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely, they do. And speaking of that, if we forgot to mention anybody by name, I apologize. Again, go to the event that's already passed. Go to the event on Facebook and find them and go check them out, because a lot of cool vendors. I didn't have a chance to stop at everyone, but I did say hi to every single person that was there. So really kind of cool. See like father-daughter teams, mother-daughter teams, like whole families were there. Like cousins or whatever were doing another one. So that's really kind of cool to see. That's I don't know, just
in the family.
It's in the family, I don't know. So, well, thank you guys for joining me on this episode, and thanks for letting me get a reprieve so I'm not on camera. Hey, Sadie.
Oh, yes, introduce Sadie.
Yep, Sadie's on camera this time. She's never been on camera before. I'm going to zoom right in on Mackenzie here.
Sadie,
over here. Look at this. Oh, there she is.
Is our CPO, or Chief Pet Officer.
Yep, we have a nice fun dog in the office here. There's usually 2, but Sadie's always kind of goofing around somewhere. That's super cute.
She's posing.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. If you guys are listening, check out the links for Spin Market stuff down below. And hopefully you had a good time at the event. Drop a comment on what you want to see next.
Thank you.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.